All right, so we're gonna get started on the doors now. So what I'm gonna do is spray the door down with our slip solution. I'm gonna take my squeegee, I'm gonna create a dry spot over here in this corner. Okay, so we got our dry spot right there. I'm just gonna take the PPF, stick it there, and then with one hand, I'm gonna take and remove the liner. If this happens, don't feel bad. I couldn't have done a worse job on camera removing that liner, but I'm sure you guys will all do better than I do. So right now, I'm just removing or pulling the paint protection film back from the vehicle, getting my slip solution underneath it. Because the film wants to slide down the door, I'm just gonna squeegee it down temporarily. It's still gonna slide a little bit, but not nearly as fast. Okay, there we go. Doors are pretty easy to install. We're gonna start installing right over here around the door handle. So what I'm gonna do is pull the PPF up over here right around the door handle, get my hot water tack solution behind the film. I'm gonna line it up, squeegee that down, and then I'm gonna get this corner down right over here. And then I'm gonna squeegee everything else down around that door handle. And that's gonna line up nicely over here on this top corner. From here, we can move to the front of the door. So if you want, you can just push your mirror in to give you a little bit more room to work. So I'm just adding more slip solution to the door. Now, we're gonna come over here and we have to do a slight stretch to get the PPF lined up in this corner. So I sprayed a little bit of tack solution there. Just gonna stretch that film into place, hold it there. Actually, I have a piece of contamination over here. I'm just popping that out and re-stretch that into place. Okay, there we go, that's good. Now, I'm gonna take and stretch the paint protection film into place right here on this edge. I'm gonna hold that down, and then I'm just gonna squeegee down till here. Get a little bit of tack solution behind the film. That's good. And then we're gonna come all the way down to this corner over here. Got that lined up. Or I thought I did. Just need a little bit more tack solution to get into place there. There we go. That's good. Now we're gonna stand up and we're gonna come, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right over here, and we're gonna work our way along this top edge, squeegeeing everything down, including underneath the mirror stock, which is gonna be very hard to get on camera. Pull that mirror back out. Now, if you're looking up here, you can see that, oh, the camera's probably not gonna pick this up, but you can see how the paint protection film kind of wraps around that top edge. All I'm gonna do is just lightly spray or pull it back and get some tack solution behind the film here. What this is gonna do is it's gonna allow me to get that top edge down and get that sealed into place. Okay, there we go. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to take and pull the door film back up. And without popping the paint protection film up in the front corner, we're just going to take and spray our slip solution underneath the film. Got all that air massaged out from underneath it. Okay, now the door should pretty much fall right into place where it needs to be. If you want to look down over here, you're going to see on this bottom corner how the film is cut at an angle. That is designed so you don't wrap around that corner. And that should just fall into place. Just like that. I got my tack solution behind there, and that's tacked down. Now, it's gonna be pretty easy to squeegee everything else out. We're gonna start on this body line right over here. I'm gonna start roughly in the middle. I'm gonna have my squeegee angled downwards so my solution goes down. And I'm gonna go back and forth, pushing the solution out. Now I have a piece of contamination right over here. What I'm going to do in this situation is I'm going to pull up this front corner. I'm going to pull up the back corner of the door. And as I'm pulling the film up, I'm spraying more and more slip solution behind the film. And then I'm just going to lower the film down. Just going to squeegee until I see it. That's right over there. I think I got that. Nope. I moved it a little bit. Okay, now I'm just laying this down back into place. And I'm just going to retack my corner down over here. There we go, that's good. Now we're going to start the same process by squeegeeing along this body line right here. And now each pass that I'm doing, I'm going to keep an eye out for that piece of contamination that I pulled out. I'm pretty sure I pulled it out, but just in case, you just want to be mindful and keep an eye on that. All right, so that looks good. I think our contamination is out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to squeegee over this body line with my squeegee angled downwards. That's going to help make sure that all of our solution that we're moving is all being pushed out the bottom. Okay, now that's looking good. What I am going to do is we're going to come over here to this edge. I'm going to pull the film up just a little bit. There we go, that's good. So I just sprayed my tack solution behind the film there. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to open the door right there till it's left open, or it stays open on its own. And I'm just going to take and spray my tack solution behind this wrapped edge. And this is going to allow me to dry the edge out a lot quicker so we can get to wrapping that edge. Now this bottom edge underneath here, this edge will hold on to your slip solution for quite a while. So what I recommend doing is, it'll be hard for you guys to see this, we're just flushing out the slip solution on this edge here. And then I'm being very thorough with this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the door. Now you can see over here all this soap that's still underneath here. What I'm going to do is pull the film back. I'm going to use my squeegee to prop that up. And squeegee this down one more time. The bottom edge of the door is one of the harder parts to wrap, one of the hardest edges to wrap, I should say. And what I recommend doing after you've done this and you've got it down with your tack solution, what I recommend doing is letting this dry out for a few hours, if not overnight. That way when you come back, it's gonna be completely dried out and you can wrap that edge effortlessly. So now that this door is on, we're gonna get on to doing the rear door. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the rear door now. So just gonna spray the door down with slip solution. So I'm gonna do this rear door with having the front door open. Reason being is we need to wrap the film around that edge. So I'm gonna take my squeegee, I'm gonna create a dry spot, and because I struggled with back rolling the front door in place, I'm just going to make a dry spot along the whole edge. Okay, there we go, that's good. Now, we're gonna take and make sure our paint protection film's not sticking to itself like it was there. I'm just spraying the back of the adhesive down. Okay, now what we're gonna do is do the exact same thing we did on the front door. We're gonna start by installing around the door handle first. So I got my tack solution behind the film. Got the film lined up right around the door handle there. Now, slight stretch to get that lined up around the back of the door handle. And then I'm just going to take and squeegee the film down all around the door handle. Now, because of the shape and contours of this panel, you'll have to do lots of massaging like I am doing now just to get the air out and to get the film to lay flat to the panel. Now, as you'll see, now that we have the door handle lined up and tacked down, everything kind of just lines itself up perfectly where it needs to be. So we're going to pull our film back on this corner, and I'm just going to take and squeegee the film down into place right here. Now we have this corner right here. I'm just going to get some tack solution behind it. And I have a hair underneath the film right here. I just got that removed. Okay, that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come out to this edge right here, and we have to stretch the PPF into place right here. So I have a little bit of tack solution under the film. I got that lined up. That's good. Now we have a relief cut right over here on this body line. I got a little bit of tack solution behind the film there. I'm just going to squeegee down from the top there. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to move back, and we're going to start by getting this top edge down. So I'm going to pull our film back up top here. Just spraying tack solution behind the film. And I'm just going to take and go back and forth, or I'm going to go from the front to the back of the door just like this, getting everything down. Now I can take and start squeegeeing everything down. Oh, that's just a moisture bubble. I can take and start pulling all the solution down. So when it comes to this body line right over here, I'm just gonna go back and forth multiple times just to make sure that there's no slip solution left behind on that body line. There we go, that's good. Now, we can just take and squeegee everything else out. So this right here is nothing to worry about. So I had a moisture bubble right there, and I just squeegeed over it, and that kind of just dispersed that moisture. You might think that that's damage, but that will dissipate once we bring the vehicle out under the sun. That will go away probably within a couple of hours. So now I'm just squeegeeing everything down, just going back and forth, the front of the door to the back of the door. Always overlapping squeegee strokes to make sure nothing is being left behind. That's good. Now we're getting to this bottom ridge right over here. So instead of squeegeeing down, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeegee with the body line. I'm going to go back and forth a couple times just to make sure everything's down. Now, we're gonna start to do our edges. So this edge right here, I'm just spraying my tack solution behind here. This is gonna flush the slip solution out. And what I'm gonna do is, because we got relief cuts here, I'm gonna break this down into 3 sections. So section 1, 2, and the bottom section will be a 3rd section. So I'm just gonna start here by rolling my thumb around that corner, pushing the film up, and then down. Got that wrapped. It might be wrapped and down, but until you go over it with your heat gun, I wouldn't call it completely done. Okay, that's good. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna, oh, we got something popping up right over here. So I'm just gonna spray more tack solution behind the film. And because it's a finger, I'm gonna squeegee that down side to side at an angle. Now I can pop the door open. And we're gonna flush out these edges. The bottom edge, we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did on the front door. So all I'm gonna do is just make sure that this is started to wrap. So you can see how the PPF has started. I've pushed it over the edge and it's kind of bit itself into place. It's kind of grabbed itself there. Just gonna do that from top to bottom. And let that dry out on its own. I know it's hard to see this. Okay, there we go. That's good. Now we're gonna let that dry out for a few hours before we take and wrap it. Next panel we're gonna do is gonna be this rear quarter and rocker panel piece.